Your sources on that phone say they can win the appeal.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I got a text today, and I'll just read you the text, okay? It came from somebody that's connected in some way, okay?
To the story.
To the story. And the text came and says, Brady's team is unreal, I guess.
What's that mean?
And that was my text back. Unreal in what sense? Unreal in what sense? And they said, talented, big-name lawyers, Yee, Kessler, etc. Prediction equals won't miss a game. Look, there are people that believe that Tom Brady will have a legitimate chance to have his suspension reduced, if not overturned.
Right, Adam Schefter's sources saying that Tom Brady may get his suspension reduced, if not overturned. Skip, what's your reaction to what Schefter had to say?
Okay, first of all, to leap off what you were talking about in our previous topic, many people have leaped to the conclusion, because Tom Brady has not once publicly defended himself, that he is guilty of cheating. He has now become the object of national ridicule because he has not publicly defended himself. So, as I continue to talk to people close to Brady over the last 2 or 3 days, it came clear to me, as I've said in the last couple of days on this show, Tom Brady privately is telling all of his confidants he is 100% innocent and that he was wrongly convicted. And as I told you yesterday, he and his team are ready to go to legal war to prove his innocence here. So, again, he's not fighting back publicly, but he is going to fight Roger Goodell privately the way he fought the Seattle Seahawks in the fourth quarter of that last Super Bowl in which he was the MVP. You know how Brady fights on a football field? You're about to see him and his team, his superstar team, as the text said, fight back like you've never seen any player fight Roger Goodell to the end here. So, again, I'm starting to lean toward what the text said to Adam Schefter about he will not miss a game. I'm starting to lean in that direction, Stephen A., because, again, Roger Goodell has the option to pick whichever arbiter he wants. And if he picks Harold Henderson, a league man who's presided over the last few, the Adrian Peterson, now over Greg Hardy, maybe Tom Brady will lose on appeal. But that will just be the beginning of this fight, because it is going to go to court. And trust me on this, the one man who might have the most to lose in court is the commissioner of the National Football League, who has gained back such credibility over the last week or so for coming down so hard on those New England Patriots. Roger Goodell could lose a lot of that credibility if it's proven in court that the Wells report is wrong. And now we have a new player in the mix. We have Jeffrey Kessler, and I know you know who he is, Stephen A., because he has long been a thorn in the National Football League side, dating all the way back to that Freeman McNeil antitrust lawsuit that set up free agency in the National Football League. Jeffrey Kessler is brilliant, and he is unyielding. He can be just a pain in the behind is what he can be, but you want him on your team in this kind of matter. I think he will shred the Wells report. I don't think it will stand up in court, which is why I want to hear what starts to come out, because, again, convincing circumstantial evidence in the Wells report, no smoking gun. I want a conclusion. I want to hear what comes out in court, and I think we'll hear from Tom Brady before this is done, and maybe you'll change your mind. Maybe you'll think he's innocent.
I sincerely doubt that. But I will tell you this. Jeffrey Kessler is obviously formidable. He is somebody that historically has been a guy representing players not just in the National Football League, but in the National Basketball Association, going up against the leagues and what have you. When you look at a bevy of collective bargaining agreements that have been reached, clearly he wasn't that formidable, because no matter how competent or gifted he may be, these lawyers, these particular lawyers that represent these professional leagues on the other side, they're pretty damn competent themselves, not to mention the fact they're incredibly familiar with Mr. Kessler. He certainly gets paid well for doing what he does, because he's ingratiated himself with players' associations in a variety of leagues, so his services are continuously utilized. How effective he may be is open for debate. Not to disrespect him, because I know he's very good, but I'm just saying, in terms of the record itself, let's not get carried away. The second point that I'd like to make is this. There is a difference between proving that you're innocent and proving that the league itself didn't have enough evidence to levy the penalty against you that they levied. In other words, Tom Brady, with his team of hotshot lawyers, may get this suspension reduced. Ultimately, it can be such an ugly legal fight that the NFL could potentially concede, who knows, and just say, all right, the hell with it. Because ultimately, mission is accomplished. Attention was brought to bear that these kind of actions can't be tolerated. The New England Patriots as an organization have suffered a consequence. Tom Brady has suffered a consequence on a personal level because now half the world loving football views him as somebody who tried to skirt the rules in order to gain a competitive advantage. No matter what transpires in the court, unless you flat out prove that Tom Brady was lied on and he is completely innocent and completely exonerated, to the point where the McNallys of the world and others come forth and like, we lied and it never happened, and we really did this for Jimmy Garoppolo and not Tom Brady. We really did this because Bill Belichick told us to and not Tom Brady. We really did this because Robert Kraft orders us to and not Tom Brady. Unless something like that happens, I don't understand how, in any way imaginable, Tom Brady can be completely exonerated of this. He is the quarterback. The deflated footballs benefit him more than they do anybody else. I was on the record, Skip, and still am on the record. I've always thought it's much ado about nothing. I don't give a damn if he threw a Nerf football. Didn't stop those dudes from getting open. Didn't stop it from hitting them while they were open. Didn't stop him from registering the points that he registered. He's still a 4-time Super Bowl champion, a future Hall of Famer, one of the greatest players of our generation. I've got no issues with it. But I did not play in the NFL. Other dudes did. I spoke to Shannon Sharp. I spoke to Chris Carter, interviewed him yesterday, interviewed Shannon Sharp last week. We've heard other NFL aficionados, commentators, pundits speak against Tom Brady. They played in the NFL. And in the end, they are telling you, even Jeff Saturday came on and told me yesterday, it's no way that the quarterback didn't know. And Tom Brady said, I don't know what y'all talking about. No, it had nothing to do with me. That's where it's indictable. So on that level, there's no way he's going to be completely exonerated. Could he end up playing every game? Sure. I doubt it. I think at least 2 of the 4 games will be upheld, possibly all 4. But even if he doesn't play, even if he's not suspended for any game, Skip Bayless, the damage has already been done.
Okay, there I agree with you. Just in public perception, the many, many people out there who don't like Tom Brady and didn't like him before have leaped to the conclusion that will never be erased that he cheated. No matter what they hear about what comes out in court, he's a cheater. So the stain is the stain, and it's indelible. I give you that much. I also want to make a quick point to you. You should stand back and think about this. You keep pointing to the quarterback. He had to know because he benefited the most. I'm not sure I agree with that. If you want to make a case for who benefits most from deflated footballs, I think the whole offense does because of fumbling or lack thereof. The easiest thing to do with the deflated football is to hold on to it. You can grip it better, which is why the Patriots have been known, and again, I'm not saying it's because they were deflated, but the Patriots have been known for not fumbling. That's been their mantra. That's been their calling card. So you can make that case. And that could go more to the head coach than to the quarterback. Just making that point.
Well, I get for you. That's a valid point, but it's still the quarterback who touches the ball more than anybody, which means it's impossible to imagine that he didn't know. And by the way, my last comment, let's stop acting like it's just Patriot haters out there. Tom Brady has a lot of guys at this very network and various other networks. He has a lot of people in public who are not Patriot lovers, nor are they haters, who literally revere him because of his greatness, who have sat back and said, there's just no way he didn't know anything. Okay. There's just no way. So it's not all about the Patriot haters.
Last quick point, which you did not address. the key point here going forward is going to be this referee point about which gauge did he use. And again, it's very complicated to talk about it, so we don't need to try to delve into it because it's almost, it boggles the mind.
Yeah, it's too much.
But trust me, that's the glaring discrepancy that they are going to home in on in a potential lawsuit.
Okay.
That's fair.
Well, Stephen A., you point out that there are people, not just Patriot haters, who do not believe Tom Brady. They said he had to know something about it. Obviously, Ted Wells defending the report. Top of the second hour, we'll address this subject again. Before we go to break, though, folks, let's talk about one LeBron James, best player in the world. Cavs now lead the series, but I don't know if the series is over. The gentlemen will weigh in right after the break. First Take just getting started. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back.
Many people have leaped to the conclusion, because Tom Brady has not once publicly defended himself, that he is guilty of cheating. He has now become the object of
equals won't miss a game. Look, there are people that believe that Tom Brady will have a legitimate chance to have his suspension reduced, if not overturned.
Right, Adam Schefter, sources.
And the text came and says, Brady's team is unreal, I guess.
What's that mean?
And that was my text back. Unreal in what sense? Unreal in what sense? And they said, talented, big-name lawyers, Yee, Kessler, etc. predict.
Your sources on that phone say they can win the appeal.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I got a text today, and I'll just read you the text, okay? It came from somebody that's connected in some way, okay?
To the story.
To the story. And
saying that Tom Brady may get his suspension reduced, if not overturned. Skip, what's your reaction to what Schefter had to say?
Okay, first of all, to leap off what you were talking about in our previous topic,